So when I'm working with my clients, especially clients that have been struggling for a long time, one of the most common conditions I find is poor gallbladder, poor bile flow. Okay, bile. This is why I often talk about the gallbladder as being the most important organ in the body. Of course, if we take the gallbladder out, which I hope you don't do, you're not going to die. If you take the heart out, you're going to die. That's more important in that context. But just think about this with the gallbladder and the bile, and why so many people are struggling with their health because they're having poor bile flow. If we have poor bile flow, there's a number of things that happen. The whole digestive process and the chemistry of digestion and liberation and assimilation of the minerals is going to be impacted on negatively, I can tell you. But think about our cells, our cell membranes. Our cell membranes are bilipid layers. They have a bilipid layer. They need fats. They need saturated fats. They need unsaturated fats, negative and positive. Okay. So we think about if we have poor bile flow. And by the way, why do we have poor bile flow? Well, a lot of the reason is because we're dehydrated. We're living in a severely dehydrated world. Okay. One of the first organs to go when we're dehydrated is the gallbladder. Okay, so we're not getting our fats. Let's just think about fat. There are a number of other impacts. I'm sure you could write a book about all the impacts of having poor bile flow, how that has an impact on everything from chronic fatigue to cancer. And I understand those structures leading to that. But not being able to emulsify fats and get energy from fats is a big one. Not just because of our cell membranes. So if we have a catabolic cell membrane imbalance, for instance, this is when our membranes are too permeable. This is our daytime mode, but then we're probably going to have insomnia. A lot of insomnia is down to the fact that we have a cell membrane problem, and we have a cell membrane problem because we have a lipid problem, and we have a lipid problem because we have a gallbladder problem, and if we have a gallbladder problem, we're going to have a liver problem. If we have a liver problem, we're going to probably have a weight problem, and on top of all that, we're going to have no energy. The energy that we have is going to be like this. This is another clue. If your energy is fluctuating, so not just your physical energy, but your mental energy, if it's up and down during the day, this is sugars, carbs, up and down, up and down. Okay, this is fats, like this. I'm a fat burner. Okay, I get up in the morning, I go to the gym, I go riding my bike, I work all day, and I sometimes work at night time late. I do not lose energy. I have as much energy at 9, 10 o'clock at night than I do when I wake up in the morning. I do not lose energy. And that's because I'm a very good fat burner. I'm getting consistent good energy from my fats. Okay, before I got into this work, and when I got very ill, I was more of a carb burner, and I was up and down, not just physically but also mentally. Okay, so that's a big one just to think of. And how can we gauge whether we do have a gallbladder problem? Is our bile suffering? Well, I can almost guarantee if you're struggling with your health, your gallbladder is going to be involved, and so is your liver, because it backs up into the liver, of course, and all sorts of other problems. Because the liver can't get rid of the toxins are going to overload your system, and then your body's going to say, well, what am I going to do with this toxin? I've got to do something with it. I've got to stash it away and protect the body. So it wraps it up into a fat cell and stashes it away in the tissues. And it will not let that go. It will not let that toxin go until the coast is clear, if you like. This is why a lot of people who are having problems with weight and obesity is because they're toxic, because they have a liver problem, because they have a gallbladder problem, because they haven't been drinking enough water, even though they know they should be drinking enough water. So one way to gauge, well, there's a couple of markers you can look at. There are a number of things you can do, and some of the tests you're not going to be able to do on your own. But a consistent pH, saliva pH of 6.4 or below is a good sign that the gallbladder is struggling. Another strong marker is the color of your stools. Keep an eye on your stools. Have a look. Have a look at the color. Okay? What gives our stools a dark color is the bile. It's the bile that gives us the stools the dark color. So if our stools are coming out and they're quite light, or lighter than the color of cardboard, if you like, we know the bile's not flowing. Okay, and another marker is if you are passing a lot of gas, especially after eating. Okay, that's a gallbladder thing. If we're bloating, that's a stomach acid thing. We're burping, that's a stomach acid thing, low stomach acid. Okay, if we're passing gas, it's a gallbladder thing.